Hey, how's that? Now look at that. We're talking. Thank you, new technology. Hey, this is the new bourbon of the week. Bird Dog Kentucky Blended Whiskey. Yeah, you can hear me? No, you can hear? Yes, everybody can hear me? Yeah, okay, there we go. Sorry, we're dealing with everything. Hey, I see everybody commenting. Yeah. They just updated the software that I'm using, and we're still getting used to the new features and everything that we're trying to play around with. It's got a lot of different buttons in different places, and of course, when you log in today, they're like, hey, a new edition is ready to go. You update it, and everything looks completely different. You're like, holy smoke. So, everybody let me know where you're tuning in from. I saw we had Nathan from Morocco, where it's very chilly. I just introduced the Bird Dog Kentucky Blended Whiskey. This is the sipping whiskey here in Georgia, my new area. Believe it or not, I just moved to a dry liquor county, so they only sell beer here in my new county, which I cannot believe I didn't know before I moved in. But they had this big guy on sale there at the store in the county line, so that's what I went and took advantage of. All right, hey, I'm excited to talk about the topic tonight. The first person that guesses the airline program I'm going to talk about in the comments, you get a free Award Travel 101 luggage tag that I'm going to send your way. Really curious to see everybody's thoughts and where I could go with this topic. And there were actually 3 or 4 programs that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't really make up my mind until about yesterday afternoon. So with that, let's go through the regular lineup I go through. No gummies tonight. I left them downstairs playing with this new technology. So Baltimore, Alaska. We always have somebody tuning in from Alaska. That's kind of awesome. It's a really warm time of year to be up there in the state. I got Rachel Berkey working in the background as always, working a lot harder than I have to because she has to keep up with all of the links that I'm going to be talking and shouting out here. So, number 1, Charleston Hope Holiday Charity Drive for Award Travel 101. This is an organization, nationally 501c3 registered. They go into schools in Charleston, South Carolina, a city that's very near and dear to me. And they don't just go in and throw money. They send mentors. They have holiday parties. They had their huge wrapping week last weekend. Rachel's going to put a link up in the comments about how you can support them for as little as $10, one-time donation. That's it. If you itemize your taxes, you're going to get a deduction. Well, I guess we'll find out next week what really is going to happen with the new tax code, but that's beside the point. Rachel's throwing it up now. Please consider supporting this organization. They do really important work, because everything we do here with Points and Miles starts with a real education, and Charles and Hope make sure that that can happen. So please consider supporting them. Right after that, I just mentioned the luggage tags. Hey, I got a new shipment in. They went like hotcakes last time. If you're still looking for those last-minute Christmas presents for your suitcase, if your suitcase is lonely, make sure you send an Award Travel 101 luggage tag your way. Rachel's going to put the link up for that as well. A lot of people from the Southwest here, or you're thinking I'm going to talk about Southwest Airlines? Come on. We can do better than that. I'm not talking about Southwest Airlines tonight. Spirit, no, I'm not talking about that. American, Asiana, no. Asiana is a good one. Not talking about Hawaiian. There's not a lot going on with Hawaiian Airlines, even though I've tried to find something with those points. All right, hey. After the luggage tags, which Rachel's putting up now, remember, we got a few basic rules that you need to follow here in Award Travel 101. It makes all of our lives easier. And most importantly, what you're interested in is how do you get a post approved? Because of the sheer volume of things that we're going with now, we got to have a little bit of order and a way to keep things on topic. So many people ask every day, hey, what's the best bag or the best suitcase that I can get? And well, there's a lot of other resources out there, and it's important that we stay focused on Points and Miles. 98% of the time, every now and again, I may let a post slip in there that I know is just going to be entertaining for everybody. No, we're not talking about Cathay Pacific. Nobody's mentioned the program yet, and I'm almost to the point where we are. Rachel, please put the link to the pinned post up in the group so that everybody knows our rules here in the group, specifically how you can get a post approved, because I know that you want the information from 37,000 of the best Points and Miles addicts that are out there. All right. Hey, my last pitch before I get into this program is support the group. I love doing this. I'm passionate about it. I hope you guys and gals can see that every day. My moderator team is passionate about it, like Rachel working in the background. And the way that we get to make this happen is if you support us. So we have credit card links in the pinned post. I always do my absolute best to make sure that that is the best sign-up bonus available. If it's not, I'm going to tell you. But remember, above everything else, protect that credit score. Don't carry debt. Be smart about what you're doing. Don't jump in too fast. Have a plan to meet that minimum spend. And look, we got to be responsible. Don't add to those statistics out there of the average American with $10,000 in credit card debt. Aer Lingus, no. Skyward, no. Emirates, good gosh, what a terrible program. Although you can do a couple cool things with it. Not talking about it. Really, nobody said it. I guess you're in the right place then, because this is the one program that you are ignoring and you should not be. What is it? Etihad Guest. We're talking about Etihad Guest tonight, all right? Now, you probably think you might know one or two good deals about it. I'm going to teach you 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 good deals about the Etihad Guest program. I can't believe nobody guessed that, which means you are in the right place because you're all ignoring this program, and you should not be ignoring that. All right, let's give a quick intro to the Etihad Guest program. Of course, Etihad Airlines is headquartered in Abu Dhabi, so right next door to Dubai. A lot of information in the news lately about all kinds of Middle East 3, unfair competition, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, it really comes down to the exceptional onboard product that Etihad offers compared to any of the American carriers and, quite frankly, carriers anywhere else around the world. So, a quick intro. How do you get Etihad Guest miles? So they are called miles, not points. Good news is they're transfer partners from almost everybody. Starwood preferred guests. They are on the list 1-to-1. And remember, every 20,000 you transfer, Starwood's going to give you 5,000 bonus points. They are transfer partners of American Express. They are transfer partners of Citi Thank You Points. And routinely there are transfer bonuses. So make sure that you keep an eye out there for when this happens. But you should already know in your head, hey, if I can transfer SPG Thank You Points and American Express, it's really easy to get a lot of Etihad Guest points already. How else can you get it? Well, you can buy Etihad miles. I'm not a big proponent of buying miles, but if you're a couple thousand short, it can make sense. And here's the good news. They're only $20 per 1,000, whereas most U.S. carriers are around $33 per 1,000 or more. So a little bit of a discount, and that can actually make sense with some of the redemptions I'm going to cover based on their cost of $20 per 1,000. It doesn't get any cheaper as you go up. It's straight $20. It is processed through points.com, so you're not going to earn any bonus points on your credit card for travel if you buy Etihad points. Hey, the third way besides transferring and buying points, you can credit some paid flights. They have a lot of partners, which is what makes Etihad so great. It's not a member of an alliance, but they have partners across all the alliances, and they have partners that are not within an alliance. So credit your paid American flights. Rachel's going to put a link up that shows you the chart about how many Etihad miles you're going to earn if you do credit paid American flights to Etihad. The good news is you're always going to earn something. The cheapest economy fares earn 50% of the flight or miles flown. And then once you get into the premium classes, it's 100% or more. So if you're tired of collecting AA miles, if you're tired of saying, hey, Richard, I want to fly from Europe back to the U.S. and I can't do it with American miles, well, I'm going to show you several ways you can fly from Europe back to the U.S. using Etihad miles. So it can make more sense to credit your paid flights to Etihad. Now, you got to go and look at all these partners. You can go back from the link that Rachel is going to share right now and see who all of their partners are. And think about putting your Etihad number on your next American flight. All right, the fourth way is Marriott night and hotel packages. You're going to get 85,000 Etihad miles and 7 nights in the category 1 to 5 for 270,000 Marriott points. 270,000 Marriott points equals 85,000 Etihad, 7 nights in the category 1 to 5. If you want a higher category, it's going to cost more more Marriott points. But don't forget about that if you're looking at redeeming those Marriott points for those packages, that Etihad is one of your options. All right. So besides transferring from SPG, Amex, or Thank You points, besides buying them, besides crediting your paid American flights, and besides Marriott hotel packages, you can transfer Hilton at a 10-to-1 ratio. Boo, don't do that. Ignore it. You need to go to the Etihad offers page, which is specifically underneath the Earn Miles section of their program website. They routinely have exceptional offers. If you're going to be taking a paid Etihad flight, double and triple mile promotions, they happen quite routinely. So flying Etihad, crediting that flight to Etihad, and then getting double, triple miles. I flew a paid first class ticket on Etihad due to a mistake fare. They had a triple mile bonus going on. It took me 2 years to burn off all the miles that I earned through that one flight. And it got better because Emily, my wife, took that flight with me, and Etihad Guest has free family pooling. So anybody who earns Etihad miles, pull them together for free, and then one person can have a whole lot of miles. So when Emily and I flew that paid first class flight, earned like 300% of miles flown, plus I had a triple mile bonus, and then we pulled them all into my account, and good grief, I had like 200,000 miles off of this one flight. And that's a lot of Etihad miles, like I'm going to tell you here in a second. So, a lot of different ways you can earn Etihad Guest miles relatively quickly. And free family pooling, they do have a weird expiration date. I'm going to try and verbalize this as best as I can, but you need to go and read it. It is 3 years after you earn them. At the end of the semester, they expire. So if you earn miles from January to June, in 3 years, if you earned it, they're going to expire on June 30th. If you earn miles from July to December, 3 years later, they're going to expire on December 31st. There's 31 days. Yeah, okay. So end of the semester, 3 years later. Kind of weird expiration date, but keep an eye on that. If you do let them expire, you can buy them back, but it's expensive. Get an Award Wallet account, set up email notifications. Don't let them expire. With as many different uses as they have, you should never let them expire. All right. And then finally, they have Etihad Business Connect, which you can sign up for as a small business program. It's an additional number you can put on your reservation and earn Etihad miles that way as well. All right. So that is all the ways that you can earn Etihad miles. I'm going to go through a quick 2 or 3 idiosyncrasies of the program, and I'm going to tell you the good stuff about why you don't need to ignore this, since it's so easy to earn so many. I haven't had any bourbon yet. Kentucky Bird Dog. All right, Rachel, do me a favor. Throw up that link to the Etihad award search engine. This link Rachel's going to put, you need to bookmark. So, nope. Michael just asked, does any activity prevent them from expiring? No, you cannot extend them. They expire, period, 3 years at the end of the semester from when you earned them. All right, so this award search engine is a little bit difficult to find from the Etihad Guest homepage. So I actually have it bookmarked. This is where you can go search for Etihad Space. You don't have to log in. It's a really weird link that Rachel just put in the comments. And this is important for a few reasons. We're not really talking about this way, but that booking engine will tell you how you can use other programs' miles to fly Etihad when you find guest seat availability when you're searching for Etihad flights. Now, what I want to talk about it for is, number one, it's hard to find, so bookmark that link. Number two is you can actually book Etihad operated flights with Etihad miles, and it's not too unreasonable, right? So here's the first redemption I'm going to talk about. 117,000 Etihad guest miles to fly A380 apartments from New York JFK to Abu Dhabi. It's going to cost you 110,000 American miles. So 117,000 Etihad, which are extremely easy to earn compared to American, because American's not transfer partners of anybody. So for 117,000 miles, that's a great redemption. You fly JFK to Abu Dhabi, searching on that link that Rachel just put up right there. So something to keep in mind, right? So business flights obviously cost less than that. If you want to fly the residence, the 3-bedroom apartment in the front of the A380, it's a cool 2 million Etihad miles. So if somebody really has a ton of business spend, or you got 2 million Amex points you want to transfer to Etihad, you can book the residence or the $30,000 flight for 2 million Etihad points. All right. So get familiar with that award search engine, not only when you're trying to use Etihad miles to fly Etihad, but when you want to use partner programs to book the Etihad flights, you got to find that guest seat availability that's on there. All right. Next thing you need to know is Etihad is partnered with a lot of airlines in and out of alliances, like I just said. When you want to use Etihad miles to fly on partners, every single partner has a different award chart. Yes, they have a different award chart. It's going to cost a different number of miles depending on what airline you want to fly. Because we're in the United States, somebody filed a complaint with the United States Department of Transportation that said Etihad is not displaying these prices appropriately in accordance with some blah, blah, blah. So if you are going to the Etihad guest website from a US IP address, you cannot see these partner charts. You have to VPN to another country and then go to Etihad Guest and look at these partner charts. If you try and do it from the U.S., a little warning or display is going to come up that says, due to Department of Transportation regulations, we can't tell you how many miles it's going to cost. So Rachel's got a link up to my VPN service that I use is called ipvanish.com. Very reasonably priced, excellent connection, super user friendly for the non-technologically savvy. You very quickly log on to the VPN. You select London or the UK since the site will be in English. And that's where you can log in and then access all of the partner award charts. So really different. Doesn't apply to any other program that I'm aware of. But if you want to know how many miles it's going to cost to fly an Etihad partner, you got a VPN to another country and then access these award charts. VPN also comes in handy in a lot of different situations that we do. So probably something you should have if you're going to be an award travel enthusiast. Things like mistake fares, error rates, you often need a book from another country's website. So it can help. So IPVanish, VPN to another country, and then you can access these partner award charts. So speaking of the partner award charts, and I'm telling you, they partner with airlines all around the world. No matter what continent you want to visit, no matter where you want to go, you can use Etihad miles to go there. That's another reason you should not be ignoring this program. Reason number one, it's really easy to get a lot of Etihad miles. Reason number two, they partner with people around the world. No matter where you want to go, Etihad guest miles can get you there. Number three, they can often get you there for a very, very reasonable to dirt cheap amount of miles. So, Deb, yep, if you go to etihadguest.com and they have spend miles right at the top, a little drop-down box is going to say flying, and when you click flying, all of the airline partners show up right there. Remember, you need to VPN into a different country before accessing that website. Okay. Everybody got that. VPN, then you can see these charts of all these random partners. I'm talking Air Serbia, Air Baltic, Alitalia, Philippine Airlines, Virgin Australia, Czech Airlines. We're going to go through it, and here we go. So Rachel's going to recap these as I go through, and I want to go through. It looks like I have 8 really good redemptions that I want to talk about. I already talked about the first one, Etihad apartment, first class. You know, that really sweet apartment people have been putting pictures up of. 117,000 Etihad miles plus $129. Availability is best close in within 2 weeks from departure. If you want to fly New York to Abu Dhabi for 117,000 miles. Number 2, Air Serbia. I actually think Etihad owns a majority stake in Air Serbia now. Last year they started their flight from New York JFK to Belgrade. 64,000 Etihad miles for business class. It's the only direct link from the U.S. to the Baltic states. So New York JFK, Belgrade, 64,000 guest miles in business class. Herringbone seats on a brand new Air Serbia A330. Looks like a really good flight. That's a really great price if you want to get all the way to those Baltic states. All right, number 2, ANA. ANA used to have a fabulous award chart with Etihad. It's actually my best redemption ever. Round trip from Tokyo to Washington, D.C. in first class. Was like 96,000 miles. They've since devalued that. That does not mean, and a lot of people have written this program off since these devaluations have happened, and they're doing it wrong. You don't need to write it off. You need to go look at these partner charts and find these routes. So even with ANA's devaluation, one way, Tokyo to Los Angeles, San Jose, San Francisco, or Seattle is 63,000 in business class. Berkey's reminded me this is number 3 on the list. So we had Etihad first, Air Serbia, now ANA business class from the West Coast, and they fly to San Jose, LAX, San Francisco, and Seattle, 63,000 Etihad miles in business class. All right, I'm going to save the next one for last because it's really why I collect as many Etihad guest miles as possible. But the next partner is Brussels Airlines. So they as well used to have an absolutely unbelievable redemption value to fly from JFK to Brussels. It's since been devalued, but it is still incredibly cheap. Availability can be a little tough, but you can pretty much use United.com to find an available Brussels airline seat. So what's it going to cost? $22,000 one-way in economy, $44,000 one-way in business from JFK to Brussels or reverse. So it's $44,000 for transatlantic business class. Brussels airline, perfectly good, nice ride from everything that I've read. Incredible redemption value, cheaper than anybody else I know. The next one is really curious. Sometimes I really wonder who writes these charts, but it is Czech Airlines from Prague to Seoul, so that's Europe to North Asia. Business class, 25,610 Etihad miles. 25,610 Etihad miles to fly business class from Prague to Seoul on Czech Airlines. An unbelievable redemption. And I have no idea why such a weird number, but well, what do you know? All right, next. They partnered with Oman Airlines, another Middle Eastern carrier just south of Qatar. It actually has first class, so economy, business, and then first. And you can do a little bit of flying from Europe down to the Middle East. Business class from London is 44,000 Etihad guest miles. That's London to Muscat, sorry. I don't know the correct pronunciation. Hear really good things about it. Paris is 42,000 one-way in business class. So Europe to the Middle East, business class, Oman Airlines, 44,000 or cheaper. Really good deal. Next is a really great one. Royal Air Morocco. They have brand new Dreamliner 787 service from JFK to Casablanca. They also just started, I think, 3 weekly flights to Washington, D.C. You want to fly business class from New York or Washington, D.C. to North Africa, 44,000 Etihad guest miles. That's it. Business class, Dreamliner. Way up here to way down there, 44,000 Etihad guest miles. Who knew? Next one, really curious. Sri Lankan Airlines, One World partner, also partners with Etihad guests. Sri Lankan flies to Europe. They also fly to Tokyo, Beijing, so some pretty long intra-Asia flights for really cheap. Colombo, Sri Lanka is a great jumping off point to the Maldives. A lot of Fifth Freedom routes operate from Colombo to the Maldives, so sometimes people say, I can't get to Mali. If you can just get to Colombo, which is a fantastic destination by itself to explore Sri Lanka, you can get from Europe to Colombo in business class for as little as 67,000 Etihad guest miles. So they fly to Paris, they fly to London, and I think they fly to Frankfurt. All the way down to Colombo. It's a pretty long flight, traversing the Indian subcontinent. 67,000, 76,000 one-way in business class. Once you're in Sri Lanka, hang out there for a week, and then grab a quick hop down to the Maldives if that's your thing. So you can see the vast, and I'm skipping over some of these partners because there's just too many. You got to go study each one of these crazy award charts. Asiana, they're partners with both Korean and Asiana, both Korean carriers. Now, Korea Airlines chart is not very good. I kind of ignore it. There's not really any sweet spots in there. Asiana, on the other way, if you want to fly from Seoul to Los Angeles on Asiana A380, 59,000 Etihad guest miles in business class. That's Trans-Pacific business class for less than 60,000 miles. And you can transfer from Thank You Points and from Amex and from SPG. So pretty much everybody watching this is going to be able to get 59,000 miles and fly Trans-Pacific on Asiana, a wonderful airline, in an A380 in business class. And nobody talks about it. You're ignoring it. You shouldn't be ignoring it. I'm telling you right now. And Uncle Bourbon's telling you too. All right. Last partner I'm going to cover, because remember, I don't draw circles and I don't do the arrows. I'm not covering everything. So get in there and study the partner award charts, because there's some other things that you need to look at. Okay? Got it. All right. Last partner I'm going to cover, Virgin Australia. Short and medium haul business class can be ridiculous value, because flying down there in the South Pacific on Virgin Australia or Qantas or Air New Zealand or whoever is expensive, right? So 13,800 Etihad guest miles. You can go from the east coast of Australia to pretty much anywhere in New Zealand on Virgin Australia. Fantastic airline. Nobody has anything bad to say. They got new short and medium haul business class. It's really luxurious, great lounges. So I've booked Brisbane down to Queenstown, New Zealand. Really expensive flight, 13,800 Etihad guest miles in business class for a 3-hour flight. That would have cost well over $1,000. That's just insane value. And I haven't even talked about half of the partners that they have, right? Really good stuff, all right? So get your questions ready. I'm coming up on 30 minutes. Where's my timer in the new software? Ooh, I got a minute and a half left. All right, so when you're going to book with Etihad, you're doing these partner redemptions. They got to be done over the phone. Now, not all Etihad guest phone agents are created equal. Some are absolutely atrocious, and some are absolutely lovely and know exactly what you're talking about. When you start calling them and you say, hey, I want to redeem miles on Ukraine International Airlines, the phone agent's going to say, we're not partners with them. And you're going to say, yes, you are. Or you're just going to hang up the phone and get somebody who knows what they're doing. So what you do is you call 1-888-8-ETIHAD. 1-888-8-ETIHAD. And then most likely they're going to transfer you to their Manchester, UK call center. You want to make sure you get somebody in the UK. They seem to be the most apt in their skill, and they know what you're talking about, and they know their partners. So when you say, I want to book Asiana Airlines, they have no idea what you're talking about. You want to get the UK call center. They all have lovely British accents, and you can talk about flying around the world for no miles with the lovely British people. All right, the last thing I'm going to talk about Terms and conditions. Right below every different award chart for every different partner, they're going to have different terms and conditions for every single one. Some have to be round-trip bookings. Some can be one-way. Some allow stopover. Some allow free date changes, right? So you need to read all of the fine print that is on every single one of these award charts, okay? To take advantage of things like free date changes, free cancellation, etc. Make sure you don't miss those terms and conditions that are different on every award chart, okay? And here is the reason, the piece of resistance, that I collect as many Etihad miles as possible. They are partners with American Airlines, which has been largely in the media lately because of all the nakkering about subsidies and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Etihad is a far superior carrier pretty much in every way, okay? But you can use Etihad miles to fly American, just like you can obviously use American to fly Etihad. American devalued their program over a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago now, where they said, hey, all of our flights are going to cost more. Prior to that, Etihad's chart for flying American pretty much matched what American charged. So when American devalued and made their flights more expensive, Etihad never has devalued their own chart. You can still fly American Airlines award flights at the old award costs, except it's in Etihad miles instead of American, which is better because it's easier to earn Etihad guest miles. So example, American wants 52,500 miles to fly to South American business. Etihad only wants 50,000. American wants 57,500 to fly to Europe in business. Etihad only wants 50,000. American wants goodness knows how many to fly the Transcon Premium A321T first class cabin. Etihad only wants 32,500. It is cheaper to fly American flights using Etihad miles than it is to use American's own miles, and it is easier to earn Etihad miles. As long as there's saver availability, which, hey, is tough on American, but it is there, you can use Etihad miles to book those flights, and you're going to pay less miles than American charges their own customers, right? So you want to do American award flights, collect Etihad miles, right? You don't ever want to pay for anything except save your American space. We're not going to find that with your American miles anyway, so you might as well use Etihad miles and pay less miles than American charges their own people. So where do my flights start getting credited next year that I'm not requalifying for Executive Platinum? To Etihad. Where are my transferring points from Amex and Thank You to Book American? To Etihad, right? So look at that partner award chart and do your studying. I see some question up there. Yeah, Rachel's already got you. Nope, Mike, sorry. Not able to transfer from Chase. Wouldn't that be amazing? And also terrible because then everybody would know about this and stop ignoring it. There's another question. Is there a great redemption from New York City to Nairobi to New York City? I would probably say look at Royal Air Morocco. They probably fly from Casablanca down to Nairobi on the African continent, and it is already ridiculous cheap to get to Casablanca, so it's probably just as cheap to get from Casablanca to Nairobi. I would take a look at that. I would take a look at flying Etihad's own metal. You just fly to Abu Dhabi, and then you connect over to Nairobi. Probably not too many more miles. Trying to think who else. Maybe Oman Airways. Anybody. Well, what you need to do is go to the Wikipedia page for the Nairobi airport. See everybody that flies there underneath the destinations chart, and then go look at the Etihad partner list and say, hey, does anybody fly to Nairobi? Also Etihad partners. Let me look at the Etihad chart. Oh, look, there's a really good sweet spot right there, and that's what I would do. All right, we got any more questions? One more reason I need to get an Amex Platinum. Yep, I would say so, but I would say look at the Amex Business Platinum rather than the Platinum, in my own opinion. Can you use Etihad miles to book AA domestic? Yes, you can. 12,500 one way, and then the premium is cheaper than what Etihad charges. Yep, you can absolutely use Etihad miles to fly domestically. You just got to find that saver space, which, hey, if American makes it available, then you can book it with guest miles. Book to Air Seychelles with cash anyway to retro to Etihad. Not unless that is refundable, which is probably not. I assume you mean you want to cancel the cash and then book, and that is a great partner chart that you need to look at. You can even upgrade on Air Seychelles using Etihad guest miles because I think Etihad owns a majority stake in that airline. Some cool things there. So go back and look at all these partner charts. Let me look at my notes and see if Rachel's yelling at me for anything. It looks like I avoided that for the most part, except for having the microphone muted. My wife says, can I go downstairs and turn off the Christmas lights before going to bed? Thanks, Emily. Always such a support. If not, thank you so much for joining in this week. I hope you learned something. You should not be ignoring the Etihad guest program from here on out. It looks like everybody was, since nobody guessed it correctly. Hey, support the group. Rachel, do me a favor, throw these links one more time real quick for Charleston Hope Holiday Drive. $10 donation. That's all you need to do. Award.travel/pin. If you apply through those links, we may receive a commission from our credit card issuers. Protect your credit score. Don't carry a balance. Have a plan to meet that minimum spend. Shane says you can transfer 1-to-1 from Amex Platt Biz to Etihad. What are the average business redemptions? So we just talked about that through the whole video. You have to go back and watch that. And then study those award charts. There is no such thing as an average business redemption with Etihad. I guarantee you that. Every single chart is different. Rachel's throwing up the groups right now. Hey, Deb, Diana, good to see you guys. As always, I recognize a lot of the same names here. I'm going to get this studio up and looking good over the next few weeks, probably after Christmas. I got some fancy toys that are going to be coming in. We're going to make it looking pretty good. This looks like Allie's down there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Rachel just put that support the group pin post. Everybody say thanks to Rachel working really hard in the background there. And hey, this bourbon is really good. I guess whiskey, sorry, it's not made in, whatever it is for the bourbon. Hook up your Christmas lights and Wemo Smart Outlet so you can turn them off from your phone or Amazon Echo. Hey, yeah, nobody got time for that. By the time I buy that thing and install it, I could have just paid an extra $3 to leave the lights plugged up. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, Michael, good to see you. Hope things are good back there in D.C. Man, I'm going to be honest, I don't miss the D.C. area. The traffic was insane. When I can just get in the car and go somewhere in 9 minutes here, it's absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Jerry. It's always good. Dinah says, what's up with the LA meetup? Hey, details to follow. As soon as I know, you're going to know. It'll be up in the group, I promise. All right. Rachel, thanks a lot for everything. We'll catch everybody. You can watch a replay of this anytime. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, and it's going to be on the Facebook page, not the group, but the page underneath the video tab. Until next time, you guys have a great Christmas this weekend, great holidays. No matter what you're celebrating, it doesn't matter. Have some turkey, have some ham, have some vegan organic grits. I don't know, whatever you eat. Say hello to your mom and your dad, your brothers and sisters. We'll catch you next week.